Yes.
Let me just once have a look here.
कौन है?
All right. Good to start, ma'am.
Yes.
All right. A very warm welcome to you on our Social Tables speaker series. Thank you so much for accepting the request. Hello, everyone. I'm Kalpana Chaudhary, founder of Social Tables, managing trustee and chairperson of Jan Seva Foundation, Being the Change, and Lagna.com. Lagna.com is a matrimony portal for differently abled cancer and acid attack survivors. Along with it, I'm also a co-chairperson of ASSOCHAM Street Women Entrepreneur Development Council, GSDC, and active member of Wikiflow CII-IWN Maharashtra Women Economic Forum and TEDx speaker. Before diving into the guest introduction, I would like to take a moment to introduce you with Social Tables. Social Tables is committed to sustainable development program with societal well-being and environmental consciousness. Every week, we bring out to you some of the brightest minds from diverse sectors to discuss over a few significant ongoing issues. In this week's speaker series, we have our guest, Miss China NC, who is a fashion designer, politician, and a social worker. She is the daughter of former sheriff of Mumbai, Sri Nana Chudasam, and is known in the Indian fashion industry as the Queen of Drapes for draping a sari in 54 different ways. She holds a record in the Guinness Book of World Records for fastest sari drape. She is the national spokesperson for the BJP, member of the National Executive Council of BJP, and the treasurer of BJP Maharashtra unit. Shaina NC is also involved in the social worker through her charity fashion show and two NGOs, I Love Mumbai and Giant International. She also received the Lokmat Most Stylish Award as a politician in 2018. She has also received many awards for social work from organizations such as JC's International, the Indo-American Society, Lions Club International, and the Rotary International, recognized her contribution to the society. As a female politician, she is often projected as a young, urban, and women-friendly face of the BJP in a television debate. A very warm welcome to you on our today's speaker series.
Thank you, Kalpana. Thank you so much.
It's our utmost pleasure to have you here with us today. So in today's discussion, we are going to discuss about the role of women in politics and much more. Ma'am, do you believe that having women in political leadership provides a different kind of voice? Why or why not?
Well, absolutely it does, because women can empathize with women, and women are unfortunately not viewed as a vote bank. 50% of the electorate is women. So what better representation in assemblies, panchayats, and in parliament to have women take up women's issues? The unfortunate past is that politics is a man's club. And up until now, we're viewed as tokens and given very few tickets, much more than what any other counterpart gets based on their gender or their background. But I think the time has come for all of us to agitate across the board for 33% reservation, because gone are the days where you need a reservation only to fight elections. Every political party should prop up more women candidates. We are winnable. We are the ones who have a conscience, but more importantly, only if there is an opportunity can you showcase talent. If you have no opportunity, you'll just be sitting in the fences.
Totally agree with you, ma'am, and I strongly agree with you. We must be encouraged to join politics more. Ma'am, are there issues around women's political leadership that concerns you?
Yeah, absolutely. Why not? I mean, if you see any of the Scandinavian countries or any of the countries world over, you have women leaders at the helm who have done so purely on merit. It's imperative for us to do the same in India. And with India being such a large country, you don't want tokenism that you have an Indira Gandhi or you have a Sonia Gandhi who heads one of the largest political parties in the past and did nothing for women's empowerment. So I think Prime Minister Modi has in his manifesto promised 33% reservation, and I hope it turns into a reality, because as I said, we don't want to be the flower pot in the living room. We want to be on the center table.
Absolutely. It's so good to have a person with that perspective. Ma'am, you have also been involved in fundraising events for cancer survivors and various other causes. What motivates you to do such a noble cause?
So, all through my years as a fashion designer, and I started when I was 18, so I've been in the industry over 30 years now. I always noticed that fashion was viewed as anorexic models wearing clothes. You go and see a show, and then you come home with no social message. And I always thought that glamour should be used to have a purpose. That's why glamour with a purpose has always been my funda. And I've done show after show for over 20 years for Cancer Patients Aid Association, because I believe that if you go for any of these shows and you come home with a social message, it is impactful. And fashion on real people, people like you, me, and many others, all age groups, all sizes, so that the funds of these proceeds can be used to the betterment of surviving cancer patients. And in most parts of rural Maharashtra and all, where you really don't even have that kind of income, when you have a cancer patient at home, you know the pain it takes. So glamour with a purpose and fashion with a meaning has always been my guiding force, and that's why I used to do these shows for Cancer Patients Aid Association.
Ma'am, such a cause is also very close to my heart, and I'm glad that person like you take cancer as an extremely critical condition and are doing much more for them. And I just want you to know that even I'm a cancer survivor. I survived cancer twice. I just got my biopsy done again, and I'm waiting for my report to come tomorrow. So cross
And
fingers.
I'm sure everything will be fine.
Thank you so much with your blessings, definitely, and God is great. Ma'am, as we all know, you have also been just recently appointed on the board of Prasar Bharati now. So
Yes.
we would like to know about your plans regarding same. What now?
So Prasar Bharati, as you know, is the largest communication broadcasting network in the world. And as you have BBC in the UK, we have the Prasar Bharati in India, which is mainly Doordarshan, Akashvani Radio, and all the other subsequent digital media, social media, etc. I think that the reach of an Akashvani radio, for example, reaches 99.19% of the country and 92% of the areas covered. We have 420 stations, multiple dialects. So I think that this being a connectivity, and obviously with Prime Minister's Man Ki Baat, it has reached every single household. Likewise with Doordarshan, even if you take in the COVID times, the kind of viewing of a Ramayana or a Mahabharat in terms of retro epics, that has been so well received by public that I hope that in the days to come, we have education, business, entertainment, news, spirituality, all coexisting. And of course, as they say, content is king. So in the days to come, the focus will be on correct content.
Wow. And ma'am, having you on board, we are sure that we'll have amazing programs and amazing content to have seen. You're very, very passionate about all the activities you have been doing. I'm personal fan of yours as well. So I
Thank
follow
you.
you so religiously. Ma'am, all right. So in a recent session of She Runs the Government Dialogue, Women Reservation Bill and Women Empowerment were the core topic that were discussed. So what was the conclusion of this discussion?
So I'm fortunate to belong to a party like BJP that believes that 33% reservation in organizational posts should be given to women. But when you actually see elections, I've said this before and I have no qualms in saying it. There were only two political parties that actually paid lip service and walked the talk to the cause of women. One was Mamta Banerjee, who gave maximum women contenders tickets, and likewise with Naveen Patnaik in Orissa. So I think every woman politician should agitate in a positive way in her own party to ensure that 33% reservation is a reality, irrespective of the bill when it comes to elections. Every time we have seen that when it comes to a woman's ticket, sometimes the notion is she's so and so's daughter, so and so's wife, so and so's being promoted. And I just think that's not fair. As we have excelled as women in every corporate sector, why not in politics? And this is something that I want to champion. I want to take and espouse as my project for the years to come.
Absolutely, ma'am. And I've seen you, you've been very vocal, irrespective of you being in this BJP party, but you've been very vocal about, this 33% reservation. And we are look forward to such women who leads from the front and, also empower women like us as well. Talking about the encouraging our audience, we would also like to know what is the right way to involve ourselves, not just women, but as a responsible citizen of India in the political area. How can young girls and boys be a part of political agenda and decision making?
So first, don't sit on the fence. Have an opinion, exercise it. Some people say not having an opinion is an opinion. I feel that you can only criticize when you're part of the process. You can only criticize when you are a voter. You can only criticize when you choose to have an opinion on national issues. And of course, when it comes to nationalism, I would hope that the youth that they keep saying are the future are not the future, but are the present.
Totally agree with you. And yes, I think that is the right way. We must indulge in society well-being and collectively social responsibility rather than just supporting a political party. So I hope you agree that the role of women in politics has significantly increased in the recent years. But
Not really.
no,
No, no. We're still about 9% in assemblies and 11% in parliament. Now, if you compare to countries like Sweden, even Germany and others, I think that really we shouldn't be talking about just a speaker or just a finance minister or just a party president. We should be talking about actual representation in parliament. And that can only happen if there is a monumental change where women across the board support each other. And the most important thing is for women to support women.
absolutely.
Kalpana ji, I have limited time, so I'm going to request you to take the rapid fire.
All right, fine. Ma'am, who inspires you the most?
Clearly, my father, who I lost 2 years ago, and that has been the biggest void in my life because I used to always say he's my oxygen. My father, Nana Chudasama, championed many social causes, and I miss him dearly.
We miss him too, ma'am. Ma'am, what is the most memorable moment of your life?
The birth of my children. I have two children. My daughter Shania is 20 years old. My son Ayan is 14. And yeah, if it wasn't for my marriage to Manish, I wouldn't have had both of them. So
And
all these
what's
two.
the greatest risk you have ever taken?
Fighting my first election in 2004 because I joined the party, and in 10 days I was told that you should fight an election, and if you are a soldier of the party you must take on this mantle. And I did take it on, and I lost, and I was dismissed. And most people said she comes from the glamour world, और ये तो साड़ी पहनाती है, इसको राजनीति के बारे में क्या पता. And I had taken it on as a challenge that I will prove myself, and here I am 17 years down.
Absolutely, and you have proved it. And ma'am, if you could change one thing about your life, what would it be?
Not fighting the 2014 Lok Sabha elections, which I should have.
Okay.
I was to fight, and it was a big mistake at my end. And sometimes you get very complacent and believe that you shouldn't take risk, but in politics you have to take risk.
You have to take risk. And it's not again always about losing or winning. I mean, it's just about leading. And we also hope that we see you very soon in Parliament. Ma'am, your favorite hobby?
Honest to God, hugging my children and watching TV with my husband in my bed. There's nothing which is more pleasurable for me than that. But
And
otherwise, if you ask about a serious hobby, it would be yoga.
yes, we have seen you that. Ma'am, and the last question, if you were to be the Prime Minister for a day, what is the first thing you would do?
So most people, first, I won't be the Prime Minister, so I'm not living in a fool's paradise. But the only things I'd like to focus on is for women to be empowered, they need to be educated, they need to be secure. When I'm talking about security, I'm talking about security in terms of them at home, at work, at places of worship, at their schools, at their colleges, in their individual homes. So I think security, education, and financial empowerment for women is the most important, because जैसे आप पैसे बनाते हो, सभी आपकी इज्जत करते हैं, कोई आपको नजरअंदाज नहीं करते हैं. moment you are financially empowered, you're viewed as a serious player.
एकदम सही कहा मैम आपने. And one more question, if I could take, I would like to ask you about the importance of the sari and how many do you know to drape it? How many types?
So I drape the sari in 54 plus ways.
Yeah.
And I love the sari. I never knew I had this magic in my hands. It's only in this time of COVID and Corona that I've not been wearing saris because I'm at home or at workplace. But I think that 6 yards of fabric should be taken to the international platform. It must be promoted as a national costume, but at the international forum as an option to the cocktail gown. Drape it differently, drape it on your jeans, drape it on a ghagra, drape it as a double sari, drape it as a lungi, do what you want, but empower something that belongs to us, and that is the sari.
Wow, amazing. One more question, ma'am. I think you still have some time. Just 5 minutes, not more than that. Women still need to become more vocal about themselves and their lives. Having said that, what according to you will India see? I mean, do you think India will see a next women prime minister? And why?
I hope so.
Yeah,
I hope so. But as I said, it's not about tokenism, about just posts. It's about the overall decision making. To do that, you have to be part of the process, and that can only happen when you're in parliament, in assemblies, in panchayats, and hopefully in the days to come, that will be a reality.
All right. And before we conclude, any word of advice or wisdom you would like to give the audience?
My request to women, please support women. Don't bring them down. We sometimes, whether it's a mother-in-law, a sister-in-law, a daughter, a friend, encourage each other. I have seen in the space of politics, women don't be as supportive of women as they should. I have seen that even in home space, sometimes when you go out and you're working, the first thing is, "Aap aapke bachche ke upar dhyan nahi dete ho." So don't make each other feel guilty. Encourage each other. And as far as I'm concerned, I mean, hats off to my husband, Manish, because without him, I wouldn't be here. And genuinely, it is his support and his non-insecure ways that lets me lead my life the way I choose to.
Absolutely. And ma'am, one message for our platform, Social Tables.
Well, all the best to all of you. And I hope that you don't limit yourself to small confines. Dream big, think big, and aspire. The sky is the limit. Our Prime Minister has shown the way. If a chaiwala can be the Prime Minister, any woman in this world can choose to have her dreams and it can turn into a reality. I believe in hard work. I don't believe in the luck factor as much. But having said that, everyone comes with their own destiny.
Totally agree with you, ma'am. And thank you so much for...
Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for being part of it.